Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. In today's video, we're gonna break into the prothane kit and get some control arms done, get some stuff ready. One thing I have noticed about this kit is that not everything's labeled very well. Like right here, see the 44 there? It's supposed to have 64409 like this, but you can only read the 644 and part of the O. It makes it a little bit difficult to tell what you're putting on, but it's what happens when you go cheap. As you can see, this one has 6440 and then like an oddly shaped 9. It's like almost an 8. I guess that's what you're sacrificing when you go a little cheaper. I mean, I haven't dealt with like energy suspension bushings or anything like that, but yeah, they're not the best labeled. And with this kit, none of the sleeves are labeled either. So that's a little bit of a guessing game. Like, they have the measurements up here, so you can kind of like go through and determine which one should be the right one. But it would probably be a lot easier if you just had like a calipers and you like figured out the lengths and stuff, but oh well. I was looking through them a little bit more, and I found one that didn't have any labeling on it at all. So yeah, I'll just use the rest of them up until I figure out what this one is. Okay, so prothane doesn't have the best quality control because, as you can see, this one's clearly labeled 64409. And then there's this one, which is like half-ass labeled. You can barely tell that's a 9. And then you have this one, which has absolutely no labeling on it at all. So that's the kind of stuff that you're sacrificing when you want to pay a little bit less. But other than that, like, I don't see anything else wrong with them other than the instructions are good, but like the printed numbers on the bushings themselves are almost impossible to read on some of them, and some of them don't have them at all. So yeah, I guess that's what you're sacrificing with cheap parts. So here's where you come up with problems. I need 4 of these for each one of these, and as you can see, I need 2 more to be able to do this one. But this whole pile you can't read the part number on, so you have to like search through them and see which one is the right size. All of these, on the other hand, are clearly labeled, but they aren't what I need them for right now at the second. So that's kind of a pain. I did end up finding all of the ones just by putting them in there, and they fit, and the rest of them didn't, so found out which ones were which. And then these ones are the ones that should work in these control arms, and then this and this should be for the other rear control arm that I haven't done yet, and then these are for the hub like this. So figured everything out. Now it's time to put everything back together. Just a little tip on how to put these in the best way. If you just get a little layer of grease around all of the surfaces that you're putting them on, and a little bit on the outside of this, and I like to put on the inside of this just so that it pushes up into here a little bit when you get both sides in. And then when you get these in, you want to fill all the little grooves in here, fill them up with grease, and then when you put these in, you put a little bit of grease on the outside of all of this too. And then when you put it in, there should be a little bit of grease that ends up on the end. And that's how you know you have enough in there, is when you got excess grease coming out. And then to clean it up after you're done, I just like to use some mineral spirits and a rag, and it gets it off pretty good. So yeah. Got a little layer of grease on the inside there, a layer of grease around there, and when you put them in, you should have a little bit leaking out the sides, and that's how you know you have just the right amount, is when you have some leaking out the sides. As you can see, I like to get plenty of extra on the inside ring, because that's the part that's going to be rotating on the inside, and it will squeak if you don't give it enough lube to lubricate itself. One thing I have noticed is that there is a slight overlap, but I don't know, shouldn't really be a problem. I wouldn't see it being a problem. It'll work fine. Got the bushings pushed into these upper rear control arms. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and paint this last rear control arm, and then I got all the rear control arms done. Well, I got all the bushings pushed in the rear control arms, and so far I'm happy with them. That'll be the end of the video. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you didn't, give it a dislike and tell me why in the comments.